Hello everyone, welcome to our Norwex demo. My name is Sev. Thank you for joining. I'm excited to share with you a new way to clean your home that is safer, quicker, and healthier. And thank you for giving me your time here. So as you're popping on, just please say hello. Go ahead and comment. Tell us how do you know the host, how you're related with each other, are you familiar with Norwex, are you a newbie? I love the interaction. Please don't hesitate to say hi. In fact, I'm right here in the comment with you. I actually pre-recorded this video, but this is still a live event. The reason I pre-record is because it helps with the streaming, the internet stuff, the internet connection, and it also allows me to still answer your questions, comment with you, respond to you in the comment, and still keep this video short and sweet and interactive and informative for you, but I want to respect your time. So go ahead and say hello. As you're popping on, just wait a couple of seconds. So I'm Sev. A little bit about me. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 3 kids. I actually homeschool. My husband works outside the home. And I went to my first party almost 10 years ago. So we're May here. It was August 2015. And I was blown away what these products could do. I was using chemicals all over my home up until that point. So I really didn't know what Norwex was. But I could tell I was going to save money. I could tell I was going to be a lot healthier for my kids who were 5 and under at that point. And of course it was faster and simpler. So I wanted everything. I decided to host a party because I couldn't get everything. And I recommend you do the same because I know you're going to want everything I'm going to talk about and more as you look at the catalog, and it's totally okay. I'm giving you the permission here to just have a big wish list because you can host a party and it's free. It's also fun and it will help your host. When I hosted my party back 10 years ago almost, I helped my host, her name was Sarah, by giving her a booking. So you will get a ton of free stuff. Your friends will get to learn about Norwex and even ask for samples. And you will actually start with this first gift right here. See the blue and the pink and the green? Those are for you. When you host a party, just comment, book me with the color that you want right there. And then that will be your booking gift, and I'll show you after this demo what is in there. Now that orange one right there, it's for you, the host. When all 3 bags are claimed, basically when there's 3 bookings in this party, that's for our host right here with an extra freebie from her wish list from me, in addition to all of her free stuff from Norwex. So just be okay with wanting everything. There's a solution. You don't have to break the bank today. Now, I'm not a salesperson. I don't have a ton of time. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3. I'm shy. I'm not extrovert at all. But why am I doing this? Because I wanted extra income. Because I needed the extra income and I still wanted to be home with my family. So if you need an extra $400 or $500 every month, this is a potential solution that you can do. Everybody cleans. Everybody cleans. So I thought I can share these products with everyone. I clean. I don't like to clean any more than anyone else, but everybody cleans, and I can share with people this amazing mission of reducing chemicals in people's home to improve their daily life. That's the Norwex mission. I want to share this and make some extra money, and I still get to do what I love. You can still be a full-time parent, you can still be retired, you can have a full-time job, you can have multiple jobs and activities and still do Norwex as a side gig. So just something to keep in mind. What would you do with $400 extra every month, right? Just wonder, what would you do? All right, so why Norwex? Okay, hey, if you're just hopping on, I remind you, just say hello. If you have not said yet, I do want to welcome you down there. And remember, we have a participation drawing. So the more you comment, I want to hear all your questions. I want to hear all your comments. The more you comments, of course, the more chances you have to earn that prize. I love free stuff. So why Norwex? Do you remember a day or 2 ago I posted all these statistics? It's true. Allergies, asthma, cancers, they're not finding connections between us being exposed to chemicals like this, window cleaners, floor cleaners, bleachy products, and just our daily struggles with our health, immune system being compromised, hormone disruptors. Are you wondering why our daughters are just turning into women earlier and earlier? Why our boys are lacking testosterones, or why, let's see, why there's hormones in our food. I mean, it's just the things that we are around are affecting our health. And a big chunk of it is under our sinks and in our cupboards and the shape of our chemicals. So yes, babies are born with chemicals now. It is really sad. And it used to not be this way. It didn't used to be this way. It's but maybe the last 20 to 30 years, right? Because of all the chemicals we are exposed to and that we ingest and we get through our skin and we, you know, inhale without meaning to. So that's why Norwex is so important, because you don't need any chemicals, you just need water. So those of you already familiar with Norwex, tell us what you have. If you're a newbie, tell us that you're a newbie. I want to hear from you in here, okay? All right, so there are two ways you can clean, okay? You can clean with chemicals. There'll be something like this, or you can clean with a cloth, a Norwex cloth and water. And so that's called mechanical cleaning. So the chemical cleaning uses chemical. The chemical cleaning kills. You see, if you look in the bottle like this or a spray or whatever in the store, they'll advertise right here really big what they do. So they kill, like here it says kills 99.9% of bacteria and viruses. That's great, everybody wants that, right? What's wrong with this? The ingredients, that's what I was just talking about. The cancer rate is through the roof for about the last 100 years, right? I'm talking like 1 in 2,000 down to 1 in 3 people, or 1 in 9 people now have cancer, right? It has to be with stuff we eat, ingest, smell, you know, inhale, and all of that, the stuff that's around us. And chemicals play a big part. But so the ingredients, I urge you to look up the ingredients in, you know, what's in your food, what's in your cosmetics, what's in your cleaners, and just trying to read these things, it's going to give you a workout, because you have to understand what these mean and what they actually represent. And you're going to start to realize, oh, I should wear gloves. I don't think I should have this on my skin, or I don't think my child can use these. I don't think my pet can really be around when I'm using these, right? And yes, you're right. The main issues is the instructions. So whoever reads the instructions in the back of the cleaners they use? I never had. And I had a cleaner like this, those wipes, you know, those are the antibacterial disposable wipes. I had one of these in literally every room of my house. I was chemically cleaning my kids. Their hands, their trays, their little mouth, their high chairs, their placemats, all of this. With this, because I didn't know. That's what my mom had taught me. That's what her mom had taught her before. You know, it is just generational. That's what we've been told to do, and it is, you know, this is what we do. But for instance, in these wipes, it says allow the surface to remain wet for 4 minutes in order to disinfect. So I had no clue. This is one of the brands. In a different brand, it will say 10 minutes. But I had never even done this for 15 seconds. So imagine how many of these wipes you would have to use to actually do this. And then it says rinse food contact surfaces with clean potable water after disinfecting. So they know that the residue from this is not safe to keep on a surface that you're gonna have food on, you know, your kitchen counter, your kitchen table, your dining room table. So they tell you to wipe that residue off. So really, when you think about it, we're not killing 99.9% of bacteria and viruses, we're killing some. The rest is alive, mixed with the residue from the cleaner that we've used. And unfortunately, this is what we ingest the next time, because that's where our food goes into. That's where little hands and little paws touch next. So that's the problem. Not that these guys don't work, it's that the way we use them doesn't work. Anybody saw that toilet video? If you have not, after this is over here in a little bit, I urge you to go watch that toilet video. It was insane. It was me cleaning my own toilet seat with half of it with this, half of it with the Norwex cloth and water, and you will be shocked to find out that Norwex cleaned better than these wipes. Yes, you have to see this. So what's the second way you can clean? It is Norwex. So I'm going to talk about a little box right here that's called the Safe Haven package. It has a handful of products that if you're new to Norwex, that you will definitely want to start with. Now, so those of you who are not new, you may like, I already have these. I'm gonna add a couple of products throughout this demo that you probably have not seen before. So I'm also adding value to you, seasoned Norwex lovers. You know, that way you'll learn something new as well. So the second way to clean is called mechanical cleaning, and it's using a Norwex cloth like this one or that one, right? and water, and it effectively cleans your entire home. How? Norwex with water alone will actually remove 99% of bacteria from your surface, right? It just picks it up. That's what we call it mechanical cleaning. Instead of killing the bacteria, it actually picks it up. It lifts it. So you're like, okay, I use microfiber already. I go to Publix or Costco or Dollar Tree and I get my microfiber. What's the difference? So there's microfiber and there's Norwex microfiber. So microfiber means small fiber, right? Microfiber, small fiber. How small are we talking? So our Norwex cloth are different in two different ways from regular microfiber. Regular microfiber has fibers about 1/6 the size of a hair. Okay, so you've got one single hair right here, one hair, 6 times smaller than that one hair. Go ahead and look at your hair. Nobody's watching. Maybe someone in your family is gonna think you've lost your mind, but you know, tell them it's my fault. One hair, 6 times smaller. That's pretty small. That is pretty small. We have to agree that is pretty small already. So if it's not that small, it's not considered a microfiber. Like cotton is not microfiber, right? Because it's thicker. Now, the Norwex microfibers are 1/200th the size of a hair, 200 times smaller than this one little strand of hair here. So that's the first difference. There's 10 million feet of teeny, teeny, tiny fibers in this cloth woven tightly together, where because of the fibers and how tiny they are, when you just add water to this, it will pick up tiny, tiny things like bacteria. And the second difference is our cloth contains silver. Anybody who knows what silver does? If you are a nurse or a doctor or a PA or working in any sort of medical field environment, hospital, you may know this. I did not. I'm an engineer. I'm a French engineer, if you've wondered, where's the accent from? So I did not know this until that first party I went to. Silver is antibacterial. It's naturally antibacterial. So basically, once you've got the bacteria in here that you're done cleaning, there is silver inside the cloth that does what? It keeps bacteria from growing, so you don't get a stinky cloth. Yes, you actually have a cloth that purifies itself. So you don't get that mildew smell, nasty, just like these, you know, these sponges that we use that quickly turn sour and stinky because they harbor bacteria. You will not have this here, okay? All right, so now before I get cleaning, let me share that I did talk about our mop. I posted a video just like this afternoon, right here in this group. So this is our mop, the base, the handle. The spray mop attachment is an extra product. I don't think it's in the video, but it's one way to spray water out on the floor as you need more. It's pretty cool. And then with our 2 pads, dry pad, wet pad. So I didn't want to take too much time tonight to show, so I did that video earlier and I posted it. Go ahead and check it out. When you use our mop, it will change your life. You will never use a bucket ever. You will never have to dilute anything. You won't have to spray anything on the floor or figure out which cleaner is for which floor. Like, you just need one mop, one pad for your entire house. Just that easy, okay? Not to mention, I mean, this will be the last mop of your life, and this is the reason why you will want to host a party. Most of my hosts are like, oh yeah, I had to have the mop. So remember, you know, the booking bags, the blue, the pink, and the green. If you're like, I want my mop free, host a party. Or better, if you're like, I kind of like the idea of earning $400 a month, you can actually become a consultant for free. Your mop is in your free starter kit. Isn't that cool? Okay, so let's clean. So this is my Enviro cloth. So you've seen the Enviro cloth. It has like several colors, but the one that comes in that package is usually gray. I'm using the coral one because it's May and I felt springy, and we have those spring colors in our spring catalog. So, but it's still the Enviro cloth, just like that first cloth right here in the Safe Haven package. You know, it's the Enviro cloth. So who has an Enviro cloth? If you only have one cloth, this might just be the only cloth that you have, because it's your everything cloth from everywhere, okay? So like I said, 1/200th the size of your hair, and this one is already damp because this is actually the one that I use. Excuse me one second. Hey kids, I am doing a video. Thank you. Can you all stay in your spaces, please? Thank you. So this is actually the one I use in my kitchen, so it's already damp. All right, so now I'm going to clean raw chicken. Now, why raw chicken? I can't really test bacteria right here in my kitchen, okay? It's like more of a lab thing. What I can test is protein. And if you look at the size of all these tiny things, Protein is actually smaller than bacteria and viruses. So if I actually remove protein from, so this is the Norwex cutting board. That's probably one product that you seasoned Norwex lovers don't have. So if I can remove protein from my surface with Norwex and water, I know that I'm removing everything else. And you're gonna know, how are you gonna know you removed the protein from your chicken? I actually have testers, okay? So I'm getting some protein on here, and here are my testers. And this is not a Norwex tester. Anyone can go to Amazon, or Hygienia is the company that makes those guys, and they're called ProClean Rapid Protein Residue Test. So they are a little swabby thing. You tend to test the surface that you want to see. If you're in your home, you want to test your kitchen counter, a doorknob, a shelf, whatever. There is a liquid at the top that you break the seal and it drops down. And once the liquid comes into contact with the swab, it will turn one of 4 colors. Green means clean, no protein was detected. Gray, pink, purple means increasing level of protein. So obviously we have a ton of protein on our board. We just put raw chicken, so that makes sense. Now we're gonna clean. So this is the EnviroCloth in just water. So I like to fold my EnviroCloth like this because we're cleaning mechanically. You want a contact between these little guys, these little fibers, and what you're cleaning. Essentially what I'm trying to say is, don't scrunch your cloth, don't ball it up. You're not gonna clean as well. And for the sake of what we're doing here is, I'm gonna use the side right here that has the tag that to clean the raw chicken, so I know, remember, that's the side that we use. So I'm gonna clean my Norwex cutting board, okay? And that's the chicken side right here. And then I'm gonna use the second swab and then test again, okay? And then we can compare. So same drill. So this is the before. So what do you think? What color we're gonna get? What's your guess? And this is the after. What? Is that crazy? I have done this almost 10 years and it still blows my mind every time I do it. So before Norwex, after Norwex. So now we're green, meaning there is no more protein on here. So where did it go? It is right here in that side of the cloth. Now I do want to stress on that. It has not suddenly disappeared. This is not a magic show. I am not Mrs. Copperfield. This is actually in here, but it's trapped inside the fibers of the cloth, so I cannot actually access it. So if I were to use that same side, which I have not rinsed or washed or anything, and clean again, as if I'm cleaning a separate surface. In fact, if we actually do clean a separate surface, let's say my countertop right here, okay, on my island, let's test all these surfaces again to see if we can actually access, and let's test this side of the cloth right here. If we can access all these, you know, the protein that is inside the cloth from the chicken, and you can't find it because it's trapped in 10 million fibers, 10 million feet of fibers right in here. See, we're still green. This one's always going to be purple. It's gone now. But this one still has not encountered any protein until now. So I do want to make sure this swab works, right? So I'm going to throw it in raw chicken just so that you and I get peace of mind that indeed this second swab is also a true swab. It does work. It's not defective. It's not always green. Sure enough, see, it turns purple as it runs into, you know, the raw chicken. So this is how it works. So I have actually removed everything, all the raw chicken juice from this board. It's inside this cloth with only my Norwex cloth and water. So on here, it's only water left. That's why I can do this if I want to, right? And no, I'm not gonna get sick because the only thing that's on here is water, all right? Now, if you're curious about the cutting boards, real fast, they're not plastic, they're not wood. They're made from rice husks, which is a highly durable outer shell of the rice that we don't ever see because it's thrown away before we eat the rice. So this is the small, which is kind of the medium size. We have a mini, oops, sorry, and then we have the large. Okay, so there's 3 sizes. Juice collector thing on the back that keeps it from moving. Best cutting board. If you notice, I'm putting my cutting board, that's my own cutting board, inside here. This is clean. I cleaned it with my EnviroCloth. I don't need to wash it anymore. But just to show you, this is my, I use this one every day. So you can tell it's been used, but it doesn't have any knife marks, okay? It will not make your knife dull, and it doesn't have any knife marks like wood or it doesn't cut little pieces of plastic, like plastic ones. So they are the best cutting boards I've ever used. So hopefully someone's learned something new here.
Okay.
All right, so that's the Enviro cloth. Number 2 in our box is the window cloth. Who has the window cloth? Okay, so this is the Enviro cloth's best friend. If you have the Enviro cloth and the window cloth, typically you'd have a set of it because they actually come as a set. They also come separately. But this is actually the cloth that gets all the glory. If you have a friend who is always like, oh, I love the Norwex window cloth, you have to have it. They probably also forgot they have an Enviro cloth and they love it too. But really the window cloth is the one that keeps everything streak-free, shiny. Are you struggling with streaks? That ends today or as soon as your order arrives. So this is my wildflower window cloth because again, I'm in spring mode. So I wanted to, this is in our spring catalog. But if you're more, I'm like, I'm gonna stick with the normal colors. You can get these as well, gray and purple. So let's move on to my fridge here. And it's actually relatively clean today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some butter on there. And you're like, Seth, I don't typically have butter on my surfaces. I don't know what's wrong with yours, but let me put my chicken, my butter in the fridge now. We don't need this anymore. But I'm just, simulating little handprints, greasy stovetop, little nose prints or paws from your fur friends in your home, just toothpaste on the mirror, whatever you might have that would be greasy and hard to clean. So if you start using your paper towels, your window cleaner, or you may actually use wipes like this, depending on where the grime is, you're gonna find that it's a little bit miserable. It's gonna leave residue everywhere because one, you leave residue from the butter that you actually have not fully removed. 2, you leave residue from the cleaner you're using. And ultimately the surface is not clean and it actually will look cloudy and streaky. So instead, pick it up with your Enviro cloth. Okay, so this is still my Enviro cloth. This is the chicken side. So I can go to the next side if you don't want to use the same side and actually remove the butter. So like I'm doing half of it, you can actually see right here, it looks, there's a big little white here. I'm actually picking the butter up, right? So like this side is dirty. Who loves a good squeaky clean sound? I love a good squeaky clean sound. So right here, I'm actually picking up my butter, right? We can even go like right here in the fingerprints that all of us have right here on the inside of the fridge because that's where kids put their hands to close the fridge. And oops, and now we have, see, clean. Now it's wet, but it's clean. So that's where I grab quickly my dry Enviro cloth, my dry window cloth. So this is a window cloth like the purple one that was in the box, and just quickly fold it and then just basically absorb all that moisture left on here. And this is the cloth that leaves everything streak free. Look at the side right here. Do you see the streaks just disappear? They're just gone, just like that. Do you see that? There. Just gone. There is no streaks. And the reason there's no streaks is because there's nothing left behind to leave the streaks. It's just water and it's being absorbed right here and removed. And so here we are. Look at that. This fridge had, look how shiny it is. Did I pick everything up? Yeah. Look how shiny it is. You can see my living room back there in the back. Just with 2 cloth. It just had butter on it and now it's gone. And then with 2 cloth, you clean polish, just water. Yes, you have just saved hundreds of dollars on all your paper towels, window cleaners, antibacterial wipes, bleachy 4-9s and all the bleachy, things that are mixed up. All of that. You do not need that anymore. You just need 2 cloth. Save hundreds of dollars because there's now 2 aisles at the store. You don't even need to go down anymore. And it's safe. Your kids can do it. It is so simple. This can become a children's chores or grandchildren's chores at your house, okay? Talking real fast about the paper towels. I had a post about those counter cloths. They are the size of paper towels. If that size is attractive to you, this absorbs so much moisture. I think one of our counter cloths absorbs 6 to 8 times more moisture and water and and madder than a regular paper towel. And a little tip for you, put these in your, let me show you, in your bag of like, you know, that spring mix. Put it in here. Put it inside the bag of lettuce or spring mix or whatever. It will absorb that moisture and you will have this last longer. All your produce, your berries, all of that, it will absorb the extra moisture and then all your produce will actually last longer. So it's true, it absorbs so much water, but in the meanwhile, it can be used as paper towels, like a quick cleanup, a quick napkin, just absorbing a mess somewhere in the kitchen. And so I'm washing my other countercloths, but this is a little countercloth house that you can put all your countercloths in. When you get the house set, you get 6 countercloths in it, but you can fit up to 12. Or you can just get 3 of those, you know, by themselves if you don't want the house. But this is basically my little paper towel holder back there. It's not cute. You can even use this in the bathroom. Okay, back to our box. Number 3, who has the dust mitt, right? So back to the EnviroCloth and WindowCloth. If you recognize those colors, these 2 are the samples I sent. EnviroCloth gray, WindowCloth purple. Yes, so if you want your friends to get a chance to try Norwex for free in their home, that is where you want to host a party, because remember, I love to send samples before the demo in the party. So that, remember, if you popped on recently, that's why those bags are here. So if you're like, I need these cloths in my life, I need this mop, I need, you know, to clean safer and faster and cheaper, just write book me and pick blue, pink, or green to book your party, and it'll help your host. And of course, you're gonna get an extra freebie in there, one of my favorites, right? But love samples, because I know since we can't be in person, this is a good way to, you know, have your friends try Norwex. So number 3 is our dust mitt. So when you use Norwex dry, it actually has a static charge. So both sides are identical. And that's why it actually attracts the dust, the hair, the debris, which is why Norwex dusts so well. Okay, so well, because it doesn't just move the dust around, it actually picks it up. So blinds, air return vents, furniture, dashboards, electronics, take this in the car, take this in your RV, take this to work, all of your screens and all of that, TVs everywhere. And then if you have 2 mitts, you become a dusting ninja. So get one today, get another free one at your party, and then you will just be whoosh. Okay, now this color is actually on sale this month, right, in May. This is midnight blue, so this is actually 60% off with a qualifying order. So I'll talk about this in a minute. Now, when you start dusting with Norwex, and those of you who may have the dust mitt, please share your experience. But you will find that you don't have to dust as often, because 1, you actually remove the dust effectively. Number 2, you don't leave dusting spray residue behind because you're not using it. Another savings. And the residue is what attracts the dust faster afterwards. That's actually one of my favorite part of Norwex, is that it actually truly cleans your surfaces by removing the germs, removing the grime, and not leaving anything behind. So even with cleaning your windows with an EnviroCloth and a WindowCloth, you will find that when you clean outside of your windows, next time it rains on there, it's not gonna grab on the raindrops and all that grime as fast, you know, all the pollen and the pollution and the bugs and all that stuff, because your surface will not be covered in a residue that's gonna trap it quicker. So you will actually dust and clean less often with Norwex. It actually is true. Okay, so, put some water on here and do your window screens once, twice a year. Amazing. You no longer need to remove your window screens from the window. What? Yes. All right. Any questions? Please don't hesitate. Now, let's talk about number 4 is our cleaning paste. So you're like, wait a minute. I thought we were talking about cloths here and water. So what about really tough jobs? I mean, you're gonna run into some really burnt on food right here around the stove or the oven, your grill, patio furniture, the shoes that are mow the grass with or play on the playground with, and of course all the bathroom messes, you know, the grout, the soap scum, the hard water. So we have an amazing non-toxic cleaner, which is called the cleaning paste. So it's actually called power cleaning paste now. They changed the top of it. But those of you who have the cleaning paste, tell us how long you've had it, please, and what you use it for, and how much is left. So this guy will go all around your house and last for years. Every room of your house. Now, I'm not saying you need one for every room. If you do that, you will update your will 100% guarantee, because this thing is going to outlive you. But just one that you can just move around in your house, and it is not toxic because it is made from, it's like a chalky, like sidewalk chalk. It's made from chalk, marble flour, coconut oil, and natural soap. Those are the 4 active ingredients. So yes, your kids can use it, and if they ingest it, it is not a poison control time at all, okay? In fact, my kids use it. We used to have a whiteboard as a last home we were in when we were homeschooling, and it's amazing how well it cleans a whiteboard. So if you're a teacher, or you know a teacher, or you have a whiteboard in your Sunday school class at church or anything, this and Environ cloth, it's top notch. So what do I use this for? Well, what I just said earlier, my stovetop and my grouts is where I use it the most. Grill, outside, inside the car headlights, I don't think I said that, all over the bathroom, tub, shower, tile, plastic, baseboard. And so it also removes permanent marker or nail polish out of all the wrong places. So this is like a piece of wood flooring. Of course, if kids write on their skin too, that's gonna be super handy. So when you do that, grab your Enviro cloth. So this is my Enviro cloth, and it's damp, and then just dab a little corner in your paste, just like this. And then that's when, so just making sure it's dry. And then you can remove the permanent marker, just like that. It's not easy to do it backwards like that. There we go. So you can actually remove the permanent marker, and there it is, okay? And then, of course, on their skin, it's not gonna be abrasive, it's not gonna turn red or, you know, make a, you know, give any sort of, you know, problems because you're in there. I mean, it is gonna save your sanity sometimes. And my favorite part about this paste is that I can use it in place of multiple single-use products. So I used to have a glass stovetop. Any of you has a glass stovetop? What is the one? There's only one product that cleans it, and it's the only thing it does. You know that, in fact, I think it's called glass stovetop cleaner, if I'm not. It's been almost 10 years, I can't remember. But that was the only thing I used it for. I wasn't impressed with it. It was rather expensive because it wasn't a very big bottle and I had to keep buying it. This is $36.99 and you're looking at almost 8 years of it, at least, right? So, and in multiple, you know, all the oven cleaners, and then you go into the bathroom and all of that. So it really, I love that it's so versatile. It can go all around the house and outside the house and on your boat and RV and at work and all of that. So that is a great, great investment. Okay, let's talk about laundry and care, okay? And then we're almost done with this box here. So what do I do with this cloth now that has, you know, that permanent marker mark in the middle, raw chicken in that corner where the tag is, there's butter somewhere too. What do I do with this? Rinse your cloth. So go to the sink and rinse your cloth. Rinse by rubbing. The rubbing is actually gonna ensure that you remove what's on the surface. There could be a piece of raw chicken on here. There could be a big glob of butter. There could be hair, food, debris, whatever. Rinse by rubbing, right? Wring it out and hang it to dry. So this is my pantry in here. And I've got these hooks on which I usually have, you know, the cloth is really right here with the window cloth and my mop pads and all of that. And so just they're hidden right there behind laundry room, pantry door, and actually just hang them. And while they hang, the silver actually purifies the cloths or the pads so that they don't stink. And then the next day I use them, I can, you know, they're not gonna be stinking. I can use them for days or even weeks. Now, every once in a while, you do need to launder them. Yes, warm or hot water is better because it swells the fibers open so everything gets released, all the stains, all the odors, all the grime inside. No bleach, no fabric softener, no dryer sheets. Bleach is really aggressive. I don't know of anyone that's ever tried to bleach their Norwex, but it will break down the fibers. It really will. Look at the towels you may have bleached for years and why they feel like they're paper thin now, right? And fabric softener and dryer sheets we'll just coat them. Dryer sheets are some of the most toxic stuff in our homes, and I'll tell you what you can use instead of them. But as far as detergent, we have several options that you can take advantage of. So you just need one, right? So we have a couple of powder and we have a liquid. Now, why not use store-bought detergents? If you use store-bought detergents, they have fillers, they have artificial fragrances and dyes, they have sulfates, phosphates, they have chlorine, you know, the stuff in the pool that we're trying to not use, optical brighteners. All these things will accumulate in your cloth. They already do accumulate in your clothes. And that's often why people have skin issues and skin itchiness, because that stuff just irritates our skin. Norwex detergents have none of that. These things are pure soap, and if you want a detail on ingredients, it's on the website. You can read the ingredients of every single one of our, you know, the cleaning paste and our detergent. So everyday powder, Ultra Power Plus. I'm sure some of you who are seasoned with Norwex, this product was already in the catalog when I joined 10 years ago. So it's our landmark laundry detergent, everyday laundry detergent. In fact, I use, this guy is so good on stain and odors that I dilute. This is a Norwex spray bottle. You can see it says UPP here for Ultra Power Plus, that's the abbreviation. So I put a teaspoon of this in here with a cup of water, and this is my magic spray. It actually removes stains from furniture. I do this almost every week with the kids on my couches, on my my carpets. I don't really have rugs, but you know, couches and carpets, and pee, poop, vomit, blood, dirt, and of course the food, you know, spaghetti sauce or popsicle into someone's bed. Yeah, that was recently. So a teaspoon, because you don't have all the extra ingredients in here, you only need a teaspoon of this per HE load. So HE is high efficiency. Your machine will say if it's high efficiency. If you bought it in the last 5 years, it's pretty much sure that it's high efficiency. So you have about 175 loads with this. If you don't have high efficiency, use a tablespoon. This is a liquid, and the liquid actually has over 200 loads because it has enzymes in it. Now this one is lavender, but we also have an unscented version, and it comes with a pump. So if you're a liquid gal, you know, if you prefer liquid, or gentleman, this is going to be used, but really do one squirt. I know it's going to be tempted to go like, you just need one squirt. Be disciplined, you just need one. And it will clean really, really well because it has the enzymes, which are natural, really efficient little workers. And then last is, it's new. So if you haven't been buying Norwex in the last few months, then you have not seen this because it came out in January. It's called Powerzyme. It's basically a powder with enzymes. So it's the better of these world. And this one is actually open, so I'm going to show you. It's both of our powders are like, you know, white powder like this, and the scoop that comes in them is actually way too big. It's 2 tablespoonfuls, and you really need a fraction of that. So just remember that. You can kind of play with it, but you really don't need that big a scoop. In fact, the the instructions in the back here are the same as this one, but they're way too big for what we need here in the US. So that teaspoon, a tablespoon for these guys. But one of them I highly recommend to wash your Norwex so that they will last as long as they can. When you rinse your Norwex after use, hang it to dry and wash it just once a week, as much as once a week with one of our Norwex detergent. They will last 500 washes. I'm an engineer, I like numbers, so I actually did the math. 9.5 years of use of your cloth when you care for it properly. And so protect your cloth. You are investing in your cloth. That's going to save you money because you're not going to have to buy these other products. So invest in this detergent, one of them, to care for your cloth. And I encourage you to try it on your regular laundry because it does a great job. I exercise, I run, my husband also works out. So there's a lot of things going on. We've got a hockey player, we've got 2 teenagers. So we do need a detergent that cleans laundry. And any of those that I've used in the past 10 years have done that. So I highly, highly recommend them. And they're really safe if you have sensitive skin or babies at home, or you need something hypoallergenic, you know, all of that, that box will be checked with our Norwex. Now, a couple of extra products that actually come in this box, but some of you may not know about, is the spirit sponge. So there's 2 in a pack, you'll get 2. And who has the Spirit sponge? A lot of people can't remember the name. They're like, it's that silver rectangle pads, and people love it because it doesn't scratch at all. So you can use it just with water in pots, but you can also use it with the paste, like on stovetop like this, without risking scratching anything. But it gives you more extra scrubbing power that the EnviroCloth doesn't have. Oh, I forgot. Replacement of dryer sheets. The dryer balls, real fast. Instead of using dryer sheets, if you want to get rid of static, use the Norwex dryer ball. There are 3 completely wool balls in here that you get that will last 6 to 8 years. Just leave them in your dryer. Don't even think about them. And they will tumble your clothes and will basically dry your loads faster and with less heat. And when you dry faster, not as hot, that's the key right there. You don't allow the, what do you call them? The static to come. Static come with time because we over dry. So the dry ball will naturally allow you to dry faster and less heat. And you can now put a drop of essential oils on here to fragrance your laundry in a healthy way if you missed that from your previous detergent or your previous fabric softener. So I highly recommend these. Very, very cheap for, you know, as opposed to the dryer sheets that you keep having to buy, and you keep those in the dryer, and they will save on energy too, because again, you're reducing your drying time and your drying heat. So forgot to finish on that. Now, last thing in this box is the kitchen towel and the kitchen cloth. So your kitchen towel, this is one of the colors we have, right? This will actually stay by your sink. So you can see mine right here hanging on the left, right there. Do you see right there? It's gray, gray with a yellow back, or yellow trim. I have it for a week before I have to launder it. Why? Because I have the silver in it, so it will not stink. So you actually use your kitchen towels. You don't have to replace them every 12 to 24 hours because you use them and they're starting, you know, growing bacteria, and they absorb so much. So this is the diamond weave. So it's double-sided, but it will absorb so much water. Anybody that has those, you know that you can dry dishes after plates, after pots and pans, and then hands in there all night long. And even if they feel damp, they will absorb more moisture. They will still absorb. And then its baby sister is like the cloth. And so these make a set, and they're in that box. And so this is my EnviroCloth for my kitchen. I like that it's smaller than EnviroCloth, and this diamond side really grabs crumbs really well. So I use damp all the time. Again, my kitchen cloth right here is just sitting on top of my faucet right here, and that's the kitchen towel right there. So I highly recommend those. Now, almost done here. For those of you who are already using Norwex, hopefully this is new to you. It's called the dishcloth, and even those of you newbies, you're going to be amazed. This dishcloth, it looks like this in the catalog. It's basically a net. Okay, it's a net. It will replace your stinky sponges. So this is my dishcloth right here. I have used it for 4 years. It does not stink because these nets right here, this net, it's just a brilliant idea. It doesn't allow the bacteria to stay on there. This is only asking for bacteria to get in there, and then it just gets nasty. So you do need dishwashing liquid. So I have my dishwashing liquid. It's actually the Norwex one that I refill. I just like to have it in this bottle because I like that it's free. I'm gonna do like 2 squirts, just 2 squirts, okay? You don't need a whole lot. And so I've got some dirty stuff. This was actually yesterday. I don't know why it's still here. I've not been here today, so, but see, it's gonna scrub really, really well, but it's not scratching. And so pots and pans, delicate china, everyday wear, and it will, oops, didn't need to do that. It will just scrub, and then until you rinse it, it will just grab everything. You see, like inside of here, we've got all that. We made a smoothie in this thing yesterday. There, and then you can hear that nice and clean, so it'll remove, apparently someone had pizza, or cut some pizza here. It will clean everything. And I like that just by removing the food off of it at the end of the night. Like even if like you put butter in your pasta and there's butter left over, again, you will remove it. So let's say I'm down here, I'm not gonna put you through washing all my dishes. So it still has soap in it, but I'm gonna rinse, and I'm gonna rinse the food off of it. That really is, the only thing that you need to be careful about is getting the food off of it. And when the food is off of it, it just sleeps at the bottom of my sink and it's totally fine. And it doesn't stink, okay? So replacement for this, your dishcloth. You actually get 2 in a pack. I don't really need 2. In fact, people ask me all the time, how often do you wash your dishcloth? I really don't. It just sits in my sink, but it's you know, there's no more food on it, so it's fine, right? Okay, so we're about done. I will share with you my absolute favorite, and then we'll be wrapping up here. Thank you for your attention. So if you have any questions, please comment below. Adam, can you say hi? Hi. Good job, buddy. So if you've like, whoa, and you have not picked your bag yet, just book me in the color blue, pink, green. And remember that that orange one is for a host. But you may decide, you know what? I might want to join as a consultant, but I'm not going to place an order. Is that bad? No. If you join as a consultant while this party is open, your host gets a $50 credit. So don't worry, issue will still be taken care of by Norwex. So last but not least is our body and face cloth. So who has a body and face cloth? This is my favorite, absolute favorite. I have not used soap in over 10, almost 10 years now, over 9 years. I take all my makeup off with my body and face cloth. I remove my makeup, I wash my face. If I don't wear makeup that day, or if you don't wear makeup, you know, you still need to clean your face at the end of the day from the pollution and all of the stuff that, you know, is thrown at you during the day. It gets all your foundations off, your makeup, your, could you please, 2 minutes, could you go elsewhere for just a second, please? I'm almost done. So all your makeup, your, you know, excess thing, you know, what's on your face, what's, you know, like right here, all my makeup is gone. And of course it doesn't dry out your skin because you're not using soap. And that is the key right there. If you have dry skin, eczema, acne, psoriasis, rosacea, you may find, you know, that even when you put those cleaners to try to help, they still dry your skin out. When you remove soap and clean your skin with this, it's incredible. And so it removes all the body odors from your body. Why? Because it removes the bacteria that show up, you know, in the sweat here, right here, your feet. It will remove the source of your body odor, so you don't smell because you have removed the bacteria. 99% of bacteria removed. So right here, my skin is so clean, so soft. And so I usually start with my face, I work my way down, I finish with this region, right? But then I rinse my cloth, you know, remove that staining and all that, rinse it out, wring it out, and hang it to dry. And I wash this about once a week. I use it for a week straight, right? And then I change it. This is definitely the cloth you want to wash once a week. But shaving, and I wish my husband was around because he could testify. This will exfoliate your dead skin right there where you need a shave, here, your legs, wherever. And then you can grab your wet razor and shave right on your skin. It will be the closest shave you have ever had. No burns, no, you know, having to use soap or shaving cream or anything like this. Just the body cloths first, and then you shave. My husband is bald, so he shaves this as his entire skull with a body cloth and a wet razor in the shower. Amazing. I haven't used shaving cream in, yeah, close to 10 years, right? And I haven't had an ingrown hair in that length of time, and I used to get those a lot. So love, love, love my body cloth. They come in sets of 3, multiple colors. Oh, here, there's my husband with no hair. So he will tell you that he shaves all of this with a body cloth and a wet razor, and he will never go back to, what were you using?
I shaved this all with a body cloth and a wet razor, and I will never go back to, what was I using?
Mineral oil, which is pretty nasty stuff, by the way. It's not, for a while you use mineral oil. The baby oil, that's not, I don't think that's a healthy thing to use anyway. But anyway, so, all right, so we're done. If you have any questions, let me know. to order. So I'm gonna post a link to the catalog, okay? So under the specials, you can find that Safe Haven package that I was talking about. And of course, you can get all the products separately. I have the link posted, but message me if you have any questions or if you run into any technology issues or anything, because then I want to be able to help you, right? Now, if you order by tomorrow night, I have Cinderella deals that you will get for spending at least $50. So you have the whole next 24 hours to watch this again. If you need to, share with someone that wasn't able to be here tonight. And so you can get a sample of the Ultra Power Plus with instructions on how to make your own spray bottle. So I'll send you basically a sample of the Ultra Power Plus to make your own magic spray. If you spend $100, you will get a free travel EnviroCloth. It's our EnviroCloth, the chicken cloth, but travel size. And then if you spend $150, you will get a counter cloth, right? The replacement for paper towels. And if you spend $200 in this party by tomorrow night, you will actually get all three. The sample of powder detergent, the counter cloth, and the EnviroCloth, okay? Now, in addition to these freebies, Norwex has some amazing sales. And because May is Allergies and Asthma Awareness Month, with your $99 order, in addition to my freebies, you can get a dust mitt for $10. Like I said, it's 60% off. This guy is usually $24.99, okay? And then if your order reaches $125, not only can you add your fancy midnight blue dust mitt, but you can also get those limited edition Nordic design. Norwex started in Norway 30 years ago, so their products are really inspired from the Norwegian countries. So you can get these fun dry balls with these fun designs for $15. That's half off. They're usually $29.99 with your order of $125. So check those out, because if you have allergies, you want to remove the dust in your house, and the Norwex dust mitt will do that. And you will have a clean laundry, so that what you put on your skin is not full of chemicals like in the dryer sheet. So that's why you want to get some dry balls, and these are on sale this month. Now, when you place an order, third fun, when you place an order this month, you will actually get credit to spend in June. So as soon as your order is $125, you're gonna have $20 to spend in June, and I'll post this too. So every time you add $50, you have another $5 to spend. So $175, you have $25, $225, you have $30, etc., etc. So you get rewarded this month for placing an order, and you're gonna get more money to spend next month. So all of this you can combine to make the most of your order. If you can get everything you want, just host a party. It's free, it's fun. You will invite your friends and show them a safer way to clean. They need to hear about these products because they're all clean. And if you host a party, don't forget your bag. You get an extra freebie in the bag. You will actually get to share that your guests will get to have samples. So they actually try the products before the demo. They can really make their own opinion and just feel it and touch them and have their husbands look at them and all of that. So this is a win-win for everybody, including our host. Your booking will help her unlock more rewards. And last, have you thought about what you would do with that $400 a month, right? I never dreamed that we would be able to, 9 years later, get out of debt, be able to have, any sort of retirement or emergency fund, being able to be more generous and allow our son to play hockey, which is now, a cheap sport, as some of you may know. Would you like your kids to do horseback riding lessons or go to soccer camps in the summer? Would you like to plan a family vacation, or do you have a child in college that needs some financial help? Or you just want to go on a date, once a month. Norwex can do that. Norwex is in 4% of homes in America, 4%. So there's 96% of the US that has not heard about these products, that have not been to a party or tried it in their home. So this is where you might come in, because we actually need more consultants. And I would love to welcome you if you're interested in, hey, I would love to do this part-time. How do I start? Contact me and I will be happy to answer your questions. And no pressure. I'm just here to help. I would have never known I would love to do parties as a French engineer who's introvert and shy unless I did my first one. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for your attention. And if you have any questions, let me know. And hopefully I'll see you on Messenger in a minute.